Season 1, Episode 36. The very last episode of Season 1 of the original Twilight Zone. This one's called A World of His Own. And it starts with some pretty edgy content. You see, Victoria West is looking through the window of her husband's study. And in great film noir fashion, he sees that he's cheating on her with another woman. I usually don't really get into details like this. She even asks him if he made love to her. Oh. But when she gets inside, she finds that her husband's new girlfriend, Mary, has just suddenly disappeared. So she's trying to catch him in the act. She barges in and demands to know where this harlot is. Then checks around the room to see if she can find her. Victoria West is played by the very famous Phyllis Kirk. She was in the original House of Wax and 72 episodes of The Thin Man. And she's supposed to be the beauty queen. She's the trophy wife for this very average playwright. And honestly, call me crazy, I actually think the girl he's having an affair with is better. But we're told Victoria West is better than Mary, so okay. And her husband, Gregory, finally confesses that, well, he kind of was cheating on her, but it actually isn't a big deal. Because you see, when he writes these plays, he can make things appear. He does this in an interesting way by going to an old school recording studio, talking into a microphone, and essentially whatever he says into the microphone, he can make appear through this film strip. And if he throws this film strip into the fire, the thing disappears. A little bit of a haphazard way of making things appear, but whatever, it works. So I guess he's got a magical recording system. It's at least a unique idea, rather than him just writing something in a book. Seems a little complicated. Maybe they're trying to make the point that if you're actually going to try to conjure up this fake object that looks like a real person, it's going to be hard to do. Now, I don't really like the acting of Victoria West. I feel like she is miscast. She does a lot of theater acting, moving her eyebrows up and down, doing the, huh, where is she? Oh my goodness, I can't believe you, Gregory. And she's really supposed to be the sultry trophy wife. She should be better looking, younger, and maybe more sarcastic and immature. She just comes off like a cranky granny. Gregory West is played by Keenan Wynn. Was in Dr. Strangelove as Bat Guano. That was his name, Colonel Bat Guano. Can't remember if he fought in the war room. What this movie does tell us, you're not supposed to do that. And Piranha as Jack. He handles this with grace. And with these 4 actors, there's also an elephant. I'm going to consider him an actor. He does the best job. He knows that Victoria West is not going to be able to actually catch him cheating since he's conjuring up these things, and we get a nice twist at the end. Maybe Victoria West herself is not exactly a real person, but is a ghost that he conjured as well. In fact, it seems like whatever he speaks into this microphone can appear, so we get this very funny and surprising scene where she's trying to leave this house. She's going to report him to the cops. She keeps complaining that he's cheating on her even though he can't find the girl, and even though he explains, no, you don't understand. I created a mistress. Technically, she looks like a real person, but I can make her disappear anytime I want. Yeah, I guess that really wouldn't work. I can understand why she's mad. She tries to leave and a elephant blocks her. A real life elephant. The best actor of this episode. His name, in case you were wondering, is MODOK. And MODOK the elephant was in many credits. Frontier Circus, Greatest Show on Earth. And I totally expected them to cheap out on this one, like just put a person in an elephant costume. No, they got a real life elephant to stand in this foyer and throw his trunk in the air at her. It's a great scene. So she comes back in, and we get the twist ending, which I will reveal that I like a lot, where we learn that, of course, Victoria West is something he created as well. And what he creates, well, he can take it away. So she stupidly takes her file and throws it into the fireplace, which makes her disappear. So she basically ends her own life, and we get a happy ending where he's thinking about having her come back since he can do that with this magic recorder, but he decides to just stick with Mary. She's nicer. I think she's prettier. And this chick is a freaking headache. He should just stick with Mary. And I agree, he should stick with Mary. There's also a really funny scene where maybe it's because it's the end of season 1. Rod Serling comes in to do the ending narration, and they're acting like he basically just stepped out on set. And Gregory throws his file into the fire as well, and Rod Serling disappears. Funny, I liked it. So this is between a 5 and a 6, but the more I think about it, I do think it's a 6 out of 10. I just don't like the acting of Victoria West. I was laughing at her many moments during this. I'm not sure if we're supposed to be on her side or not, but I definitely wasn't. But everything else about this episode is good, from the elephant to the main actor, controlling the entire narrative, and with a smile and a hop in his step, he knows that he's going to be able to make anything appear or disappear that he wants to. It's an interesting idea, it's original, and I like it. Decent way to end season 1, but I wouldn't say exactly a 9 out of 10 banger. They should have gone out with the big guns. Well, I guess maybe they thought putting an elephant in would be good enough. And a funny piece of trivia, for some reason when this premiered on the Sci-Fi show, they decided to cut out the part with the elephant. I have noticed that this series does run a little longer than 22 minutes, so the DVD will say 25 minutes, but there's a minute or two of credits at the end. So it's technically a 25-minute show, and it runs about 23 and a half. So if you do a 22-minute show on Sci-Fi, you have to cut something. But they cut the elephant part. Like, cut out the parts where she's just repeating herself for the 4 billionth time. Stupid Sci-Fi show. The people who own the rights to the Twilight Zone complained about this, and now when it streams on MeTV, they put that part back in. Good job. And last but not least, Mary is played by Mary LaRoche, who's in Gidget as Dorothy, Bye Bye Birdie as Doris. While she's not in this episode much, I do think her presence is much needed, and she gets away with just seeming normal and like good person to marry, rather than having to say a bunch of lines, which is a big contrast to Victoria West. Next up, we start season 2 with episode 1. King 9 will not return. Believe it or not, someone has crash landed on a planet again, which I want to say is a generic plot for a sci-fi series, but damn it, every time Twilight Zone does it, they do such a great job, so keep having people crash land. I love those episodes. And check out our playlist for the other series that we've covered. We're currently doing every episode of Twilight Zone, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Black Mirror, Mystery Science Theater 3000, and we're doing live streams. Thanks.